Kenny Hardaway Sudden T back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor as y'all roll on in. Y'all hit that like button for your boy. We here for a good time, not a long time this morning. Today we here with a Southern T EP about Andy Cruz. And if this name sound unfamiliar to you, I'm not, really surprised type deal. Andy Cruz is a Cuban prospect. He's a Cuban Olympian, a Cuban, if I'm not mistaken, two-time gold medal winner, two-time Olympic gold medal winner, could be three-time Olympic gold medal winner. Andy Cruz. Uh, Again, as I stated, Andy Cruz, is from Cuba, and if you know a little bit, about Cuba, you know what I mean. You know that when you're born in Cuba, it's hard to get out of Cuba. It's hard to get away from Cuba. You know what I mean? Cuba is reigned on dictatorship. You know what I mean? So when we see these Cuban boxers in America and we see them boxing, we just think, we just thinking, oh, it's just for our entertainment and it's that simple, that cut and dry. But really, when you see those Cuban boxers, 9 times out of 10, actually 10 times out of 10, those guys had to go through way more than people really and truly understand them having to go through to even come over here to be American, to even to even come over here to be in America. You know what I mean? Your Danish real quick. Y'all smash that like button for your boy real quick. You might not know. I know you know who your Danish Ugas is, right? He just fought Earl Spence. Your Danish Ugas is Cuban as well. And just real quick to give you like his story, what he had to go through real quick. Your Danish Ugas tried to escape Cuba like 3 times. He got thrown in jail twice. He got beat, and it took him like 4 attempts to finally, escape from that Cuban dictatorship. And once he did, he came over here to America, and he came over here to America, and the rest is history. With your name's Ugas. Andy Cruz was actually supposed to make his pro debut earlier. He did 9 times, almost died 4 times. Yeah, your name's Ugas. See, so your name's Ugas tried to, escape from Cuba plenty of times. Andy Cruz was good, Cassandra. Appreciate you sliding through this, John Cassandra. Andy Cruz was actually supposed to make his pro debut. If I'm not mistaken, it was either this month or last month. But the fight got canceled because, quote unquote, the Cuban government had got a tip that Andy Cruz may be trying to leave, Cuba. When he leave Cuba, he may not be returning. So the Cuban government the Cuban government, they shut Andy Cruz's first professional fight down over here in America, and they didn't let him go over. You know what I mean? I thought that was messed up. But since then I've got Gizzard. What weight class is he in? He's at the 100. Well, actually, I don't really know what weight class he's in. He will be in pro, but I say to you anywhere he could fight anywhere from between maybe 122 and 135. You know what I mean? Just to give you a big, just to give you a kind of a range from 126 to like 135. He could fight anywhere up in like 126 or something like that. Anywhere up in between there. You know what I mean? He could probably fit. His best weight may be, 126 is Andy Cruz. But for reference, Andy Cruz beat Keyshawn Davis. I don't know if y'all know Keyshawn Davis. I put this particular picture up there for a reason. Anthony Cruz beat Keyshawn Davis, to win his Olympic gold medals. So when I tell y'all that, this guy is an Olympian, he's an Olympian, because he beat Keyshawn Davis. What's good, Charles Granger? I'm in here giving y'all this Andy Cruz. So I know y'all probably ain't hip, on Andy Cruz. You know what I mean? I know when it's not Earl and Bud, you know what I mean? It'd be hard to get y'all in this jump, but I do my due diligence, do my thing to let y'all know what's going on in and around boxing. But this is a good thing. This is a good, this is good news for Andy Cruz. The sport about boxing is about fighting the best of the best. Andy Cruz is one of the best young boxers in the world today. Again, he beat Keyshawn Davis twice, to win his gold medals in the Olympics. He's a guy that was over there in Cuba. It's hard for those Cubans, to even get to America, to get out of Cuba. It's a terrible, terrible dictatorship. You know, it's a terrible, terrible dictatorship, you know, over there in Cuba. So it's really hard for these guys to get out of their country. It's really hard for these guys to go pro. Even the baseball players, you know, the baseball players, basketball players, those are what Cubans, you know, are mainly known for. And it's hard for those guys to, you know, get out of Cuba. That's why a lot of times when we get those guys over here in America and we finally do see them, you know what I mean? When we finally do see them, they are, you know, tend to be older, you know, than our prospects. You know what I mean? They tend to be a little older than our prospects because it's hard for a lot of them to get out of here. I mean, to get out of Cuba. They make those guys stay over there in Cuba and fight for those Olympic teams, you know, for their whole careers. Because in Cuba, that's how, you know, they pay the bills. You know, they got a lot riding on those, Olympics tournaments and Olympic championships and, regionals and all that shit. So Cuba, you know, is pretty heavy, on boxing. So of course it'll be hard for those guys to get, away from Cuba with how the Cuban government uses them and uses amateur boxing, you know what I mean, over there in Cuba. But Andy Cruz is one of those guys. Andy Cruz is one of those guys. Like, he's a legit guy. You know what I mean? He's not, just all hype, which is why I'm talking about him even to begin with. You know what I mean? And I think this is very interesting. This gives us, another big fight, to have. Now, a lot of us don't know who Andy Cruz is, but once Andy Cruz gets over here, you know what I mean, you start making his rounds and all that thing. That story, the stories about him being Keyshawn Davis and all that stuff, that's gonna start to, turn his head and the rise and all that good shit. And before you know it, we'll be getting us a Keyshawn Davis versus Andy Cruz fight. You know what I mean? So if you really don't know who Andy Cruz is, you can hit your Google, you can go to your box recs, but quick story, you know what I mean? He's the guy that beat Keyshawn Davis in the Olympics for those gold medals. He's the reason why Keyshawn Davis has 2 silver medals, you know what I mean, and not 2 gold medals type deal, you know what I mean? So Andy Cruz, Andy Cruz, Andy Cruz is he just, he's finally defected from Cuba. You know what I mean? He was supposed to make his ring debut last month or earlier this month, if I'm not mistaken. But the Cuban government had shut that fight down because they got tipped that Andy Cruz probably will not be returning, from his fight, that he would try to defect to America then. So they canceled his fight. But since then, Andy Cruz has defected from Cuba, you know what I mean? And even by him defected from Cuba, it's time to celebrate, but it's really not time to celebrate, because when those guys leave their countries and stuff, a lot of times, sometimes their family members, have to pay for them. They may jail a family member. They may even take a family member hostage, and make you pay ransom and fees, to keep that family member okay, which is what they do with a lot of the athletes. They get a lot of their family and they take them and they make that athlete continue to send money, you know what I mean, over to Cuba. So if you could be in America, you could live your life, but they make it hard on your family. And if you don't send them money, the Cuban government money type deal, they literally have the right to do whatever they want to do, almost, to your family. But I'm here for a good time, not a long time on this EP. Andy Cruz has finally, defected over here to America. This is the guy that beat Keyshawn Davis twice in the Olympics, the gold medal winner to Keyshawn silver medal winner. This is good news. Y'all do your boy a favor when y'all just rolling on in. Y'all smash that like button for your boy, whether you here for a good time or a long time. Smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in, and subscribe to the channel. But that's all I want to hit y'all with this morning for this morning tea. Keyshawn Davis, now, he now has defected from Cuba. You know what I mean? He beat him twice for the gold medal. Goes. He now has defected from Cuba to America. So the Keyshawn Davis and the Andy Cruz thing that me and my boy Ghost like to argue about all the time, they just got one step closer to happening. You know what I mean? But that's all I got for y'all this morning. Skin the Hardaway Southern Tea. This ain't the past, this ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love. Let me say what's up to my people that came through the building. Shout out my guy Ghost. Appreciate you sliding through this junk. Shout out my girl Cassandra. Appreciate you sliding through this junk, Cassandra. Shout out my guy Charles Granger. Appreciate you sliding through this junk, Charles Granger. Glad you could make it. Shout out to my guy. Shout out to my girl Monica. Good morning, Monica. Appreciate you sliding through. Y'all jab that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Shout out my guy Jay Gibson. Jay Gibson came through. He made it a little late. Jay Gibson, check the playback for your boy. Check the playback for your boy. You know what I mean? Catch up to that. Catch up to that. But I'm out of here, y'all. It's getting hard away, son. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. This the